since I probably may not be able to go live tomorrow, let's look at the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I'm going to do this again on Detroit Sports Syndicate. Appreciate you guys' support. But check this out. Now, I don't think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to just pounce on us. The last time we were underdogs this big, we should have won the game. So I'll just leave that right there. ESPN matchup predictor. 83% Dallas, 16% and some change us. They got the Dallas Cowboys 83%. Now all this stuff is, machines and numerical data. Numerical data. I cannot say that word for some reason. Jared Goff, 186 attempts, 111 completions. He's got 13 plus 100 yards, 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Dak Prescott will be back. He will be back. I think that's stupid. I really do. Let the man get 100% first. I just think that's dumb, but they're going to bring him back. Dak was cleared to practice yesterday, and he is back. Their leading receiver is CeeDee Lamb, 2 touchdowns, 33 receptions, 409 yards. And finally, our leading receiver is a receiver, 23 receptions, 335 yards. And some of y'all didn't want Josh Reynolds. Jamal Williams, 77 carries, 6 touchdowns, 332 yards. Ezekiel Elliott, 94 carries, 386 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Questionable for the Detroit Lions, DeAndre Swift, Chris Board, Frank Ragnow, Bobby Price, and Josh Reynolds. The Detroit Lions are now under 30 points a game. They allow less than 30 points a game because they only allowed 29 for the New England Patriots, or with the New England Patriots. 28 to Dallas's 18.3 points per game, 34 for the Detroit Lions, and 16 for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, granted, most of that scoring was with Cooper Rush. Dallas only gets 311 yards, Detroit 423. Passing yards, 192 for Dallas, 272 for Detroit. Rushing yards, 151 for Detroit, 118 for Dallas. Yards allowed. Dallas only allows 329 yards, 120 rushing, and 208 passing. Detroit allows 269 passing and 161 rushing. And yes, we still have the number 32nd defense in the league. Detroit is on a 3-game losing streak. The Dallas Cowboys were on a 4-game losing streak, last losing before their game against the Philadelphia Eagles when they faced off week 1 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when Dak hurt himself. So, ironically, his previous game, they lost. Now, yeah, he was hurt. Detroit trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. And the Dallas Cowboys are trying to get their first win under their starting quarterback this season. Now, I told you guys I'm not picking the Lions. Can they beat Dallas? Sure. They are 6.5-point underdogs, I think. 7.5, somewhere huge. This is one of them games they got no business winning if you look at it from a defensive standpoint. Dallas is first in sacks. That's what I'm worried about. Yes, Nick, they are. And DeAndre Swift is not at 100. This is a prime example of how DeAndre Swift could change the tide of this game. What's up, Nate? Nate spitting facts. Hopefully this will be the first road win of MCDC's career. What better place to win? Well, I could have thought of one, really. New England, Gillette Stadium. Places to win, Lambeau, last week in this. I think this is number 3. Hopefully Sewell and Decker can hold up against Parsons. Well, hopefully Decker can bring his behind, kiss the baby and come on back. Hopefully his wife is like, they need you. Get back. You know what I'm saying? But I know what it's like having a kid. I'm sure most of us know. Sometimes you just want to be there, but I'm sure he'll be back in pads ready to help his team. As of yesterday, his wife was awaiting the birth of the child. I didn't know if it officially happened yet. But I tell you this, I'm not picking Detroit to win this game. Can they win this game? They can. Should they win this game? To me, that's debatable. Even with their defense, we were like stops away from winning. We were a dumb play call away from beating the Vikings. We were a stop away from beating the Seahawks. And we were just outmatched in every way against Bill Belichick. Right? But realistically, the Lions should be 3-2. 3-2, heading to play a 4-2 Dallas. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if the Lions were 3-2? We're going to play a 4-2 Dallas. We win, we're 4-2. They fall to 4-3. We jump them in the rankings, in the standings. But that's not what we're looking at. What we are looking at, we are staring down the barrel of a 1-5 start. And like I said before, Dan Campbell ends this season with anything less than 3 wins. Sheila would be stupid, in my opinion. I'm not calling the woman stupid. Sheila would be, in my opinion, can you really validate year 3 if your coach has 6 wins out of 34 tries? I'm asking you guys in the chat, can you validate a coach who wins 6 games in 34 tries? He will be 6-27-1. We would still be 1 or 2 in the division. What a turn of events. Yeah. So while you guys ponder that, we went over this the other day, and this is why, like, this game is huge. Nick says it's hard to. Yeah, Nick, it's really hard to. And I think we're going into year 3. See, it's not about what, in my opinion, it's not about what he can do. It's what he has done. Right? Because year 1, nobody was comparing Matt Patricia to Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn was not getting compared to Matt Patricia. But all of a sudden, year 2 comes, and now the comparisons come. And check this out. Now, granted, Matt Patricia took over a better team. And that's, in my opinion, what's saving Brad Holmes or Dan Campbell, is the fact that Matt Patricia took over a better team. But at the end of the day, there's no way, if Sheila really wants to do this thing right, that you're going into year 3 saying, yeah, man, it's all right. 6 wins, 27, what did I say? 6-27-1. There's no way that you can, if you're any type of decent owner, you're going to be okay with that. You're going to be okay with that. Let me ask you guys in the chat. If you were the owner of the Detroit Lions, be realistic. You're not going to get judged here. I'm not going to judge. Listen, I'm not going to judge you here. If Dan Campbell goes 6-27-1 heading into year 3, what is the minimum for you as a fan GM that he has to be in order to retain his position heading into year 4?